was supposed to be just another normal morning on the road. José, a truck driver since he was 19, now 53, knew every curve, every pothole, and every silence on the BR-020 like someone who recognizes the wrinkles on their own face. Originally from the interior of Piauí, Mr. Zé, as he was called at gas stations, was married, father of 2 children, and supported his family with sweat and diesel. In the back of his old but trusty Mercedes 1113 truck, he transported everything: soybeans, cattle, cement, even the belongings of those who decided to start a new life far from the backlands. He was not one to engage in small talk. He lived quietly, focused on the steering wheel and his thoughts. He only spoke when necessary, and even then, in a low, direct voice. He was a tough man, forged in the heat of the roads and the cold of lonely nights. That September night, the sky was clear. The radio was playing a distant modao and the engine sang like a prayer. But a sharper curve and the absence of light on the side of the road would be the beginning of one of the most remarkable stories that he would never tell out loud, but that he would never forget in silence. The first challenge came unexpectedly. The road ended in a deep mud hole and the truck got stuck. No radio, no signal, no GPS. The silence turned into a scream inside José's mind. He got out, stomping through the mud, trying to find a way out. Suddenly, he heard crying, faint, coming from the woods. The flashlight barely worked, but it was enough for him to see a small silhouette, crouched next to a wrecked car among the trees. It was the girl with the radio, injured with scratches and eyes wide with fear. "Help me, please," she said, holding her arm. José ran to her, improvised a splint with pieces of twig and carefully placed her in the truck bed. He tried to get the truck out, but there was no traction. It was at that moment that he realized something was wrong. The headlights started flashing on their own, and the engine started and stopped as if it had a will of its own. When he looked in the rearview mirror, he saw figures passing behind him, quickly, silently. Cold sweat was pouring down his face, and his heart felt like it was about to burst out of his chest. There's something wrong here, he thought, but it was too late to turn back. Unable to get the truck out of the mud and surrounded by a darkness that seemed alive, José made the most difficult decision of the night: carry the girl in his arms until he could find help. With no cell phone signal and the road swallowed, up by the bushes he grabbed a flashlight and continued on foot. With each step the forest seemed to close in. The sounds became more distant, as if the real world were falling behind. He heard voices, some calling his name, others whispering things he didn't understand. At one point, the girl fainted, and he almost dropped her. Exhausted, almost without strength, he found a clearing with an old, apparently abandoned shack. He knocked on the door, shouted, begged. An elderly woman opened it, looked at the girl in his arms, and simply said, "You've seen too much. Come in now." He went in without thinking. That decision would save his life. Inside the shack, time seemed to stand still. The woman took care of the girl with herbs and prayers. She said that the road where the truck was parked was famous. Disappearances, sightings, voices on the radio. "It's a portal that opens from time to time only for those the road chooses," she whispered. José didn't understand, but he felt in his body that this wasn't normal. In the early hours of the morning, while everyone was sleeping, he dreamed of truck drivers calling for help. The voices of men who had disappeared there years before. The next day, at dawn, The woman took him to a trail that led to another dirt road, where a farmer helped him get back on the highway. When he returned to the spot where the truck had gotten stuck, the truck was there, clean, free of mud, with the engine running normally. No sign of the car that had crashed. No marks on the road, no girl. After that night, José never deviated from his route again, never answered an unusual call on the CB radio. He returned home a different person, quieter, more attentive. He told his wife that he had had problems on the road, nothing serious. He never told anyone what he saw. But every now and then, when the radio crackles for no reason or when the fog suddenly descends on the stretch of BR-020, he takes a deep breath and holds the steering wheel firmly. The road, he understood, is like life. Sometimes it takes you down paths that test more than your strength. They test your soul. And those who survive take with them not only a good story, but a lesson that not everyone can hear without going crazy.